That is a round capybara. We all got that one rotund homie, you know what I mean? That's a coconut in disguise. Okay, what are we talking about today? Oh yeah, Elena. All right, the Elena gameplay trailer is here today. So as usual, I'm gonna do a breakdown and give my thoughts on her. I guess we'll start with this as well. As usual, we also got a bunch of information about her kit, which I'm gonna be using to sort of go alongside the video. I am also gonna mention this up front. So we did finally get a tiny bit of information about Season 3 balance changes. Mainly that they actually exist, but are being held hostage behind the, the Switch 2 launch alongside Elena. It's going to be very weird having a CPT season where the game changes drastically after the first few players qualify. That is strange. They do say it's going to be they describe it as, where is it? A major balance patch. And interestingly, they also mentioned that as well as every character getting changes, we're also going to get some broader system changes as well, which I'm really excited about because I feel like the priority for this update should be more about system changes rather than character balance. I think system changes are more important for where the game is right now. So I'm glad to see that they've also mentioned the system changes. Also, I think I know why Capcom decided to hold back the balance patch until midway through the season. And this is the reason why. Well. That's right, folks. They did this to spite me personally. You know, it was Capcom all along. This is all for my hubris at thinking this was my logic. There was no way they'd let a new season start on the old balance patch. Like, Capcom had never done that before. Surely they won't do it now. So, as well as the Elena trailer, we also got some news that Elena is going to be playable at EVO Japan in less than 2 weeks' time now. Although apparently the Elena playable version at EVO Japan is going to be enforced Elena only. So if you are hoping that we might get some balance change information, it seems like they're going to stop people from playing anyone except Elena. So unless someone feels sneaky enough to wait until the staff's back's turned, then we're unlikely to get any reports or gas leaks about Season 3 changes. So, with that being said, let's get into the Elena gameplay trailer. Advance warning, as with the usual thing, I'm going to be probably pausing a lot, so I recommend if you haven't already seen the trailer, go watch it first, and then if you want the more detailed breakdown, come back here, because otherwise you're going to yell at me for pausing every 5 seconds. So, let's go. Chat is already spamming healing. I like her stage a lot. The stage looks really cool. I kind of have mixed feelings about her new outfit. Like, just before we get started, like, her new outfit I think it's okay. I don't love it, I don't hate it. I'm kind of meh on the new design, but not to jump ahead, but I think her classic costume is absolutely phenomenal in this game. But let me not jump ahead. So we got a lot of iconic Elena normals up front, lots of target combos. So we got like the back heavy kick. This is one of my favorite Elena normals in, like, I think this is both a really good normal in Third Strike and in Street Fighter 4. This is like back heavy kick, I believe. This thing is almost always the crouch medium kick destroyer. It usually hops lows. So, and you know, Street Fighter 6 is low forward drive rush the game. So anything that like hard counters autopilot low forwards is a fun normal, I think. I think that's stand heavy punch, if I remember rightly. Punish counter launch. Another low blown up with back heavy kick. And then we've got the overhead. So we see a few overheads here. I think these are really interesting. The first thing to mention, we also get an airborne target combo and another overhead. So if you guys don't know, Elena traditionally has a lot of overheads. That is one of her sort of like character traits in both Street Fighter 3 and 4. She usually has about 3-ish overhead normals. And what I think is really interesting is that both of the overheads shown here, I think this is forward medium kick and the previous one is forward heavy kick, is that they go into target combos, as you can see here, that knock down. In Street Fighter 6, generally speaking, overheads are only really used out of drive rush. 99% of the time when you see an overhead normal in Street Fighter 6, it'll either be drive rush overhead, or it will be just to close out a round, like to kill an opponent that's almost dead to get that last little bit of damage. Pretty much the only character I can think of that can actually convert an overhead into like a knockdown in a target combo is like Jamie. So just in terms of like throwing out an overhead in a neutral position with like no counter hit, no punish counter, stuff like that, it's actually quite rare to be able to convert off an overhead in this game. Only a small number of characters can do it, so that's pretty good. DJ sways away, and then we get the slide. She's got like 2 versions of sweep. This is basically Bison's sweep in previous games, but it also low profiles under projectiles. And it also seems like she has a lot of ways to deal with fireballs in this game. We don't actually see it going under a fireball, but traditionally speaking, this thing has usually been a fireball punish. Looking respectfully. All right, let's get into the actual important stuff. So now we're seeing some special moves. So let me explain what this is, because this is very different to previous Elena stuff. So Elena has this move here, which is called, hold on. This is called Link's Song. It's this forward-moving command roll, which she's never really had before. This is a brand new move for this game, and it seems like it's kind of the core of her kit. So it's a command roll, and it has a bunch of follow-ups, and most of the follow-ups are like traditional special moves that she used to be able to just do raw. This roll also goes through projectiles, as you see here. She goes through DJ's fireball and then does a throw. And before I move on, I don't want to inhale too much copium here, but can we talk about this forward throw? First of all, this forward throw leaves Elena miles away. It's nearly full screen after the forward throw. And if you look at the recovery, she's only actionable by the time that DJ is already getting off the floor. Now, like I said, I don't want to start inhaling copium, but given that she is going to be the first character that's on the Season 3 build, and it does appear that at the very least she has below average throw Oki. I'm not saying she doesn't have a throw loop. We haven't been able to see how this works in the corner. At the very least, I don't get the impression she'll be able to forward dash here. She might be one of the characters that has to drive rush if she does have a throw loop. But this is pretty noticeable to me. We also see this move here. So she does the new roll into this kick follow-up. And I don't think this leads to much, but I get the impression this is probably just like a safe-ish follow-up to the roll. It does a knockdown on hit. We've got the next follow-up. This one is called Harvest Circle. I have to keep checking these because a lot of these are new. So she has this launcher that she does with her kicks after the roll. This gives you like a juggle state afterwards, and you can get DP here. Okay, this clip... this clip terrified me when I first saw it, because DJ does his back sway to avoid this button, and then Elena also does a back sway to avoid the sway, and I think back sway is one of the most obnoxious moves in this game. DJ's sway, even though DJ's been nerfed a lot over the years, is so powerful. Any move in this game that lets you move backwards and then suddenly lurch forward and attack, things like DJ's sway, Luke's back heavy punch, these kinds of moves are extremely good in this game because they're auto shimmies, and also because you can kill your drive rush momentum with them. So like when I saw that she had a back sway, I was scared. It turns out it might not be as worrying as I first thought, because I checked the notes about this move. They say it's an evasive technique where Elena steps back before performing a vertical spinning kick. So I don't get the impression that this is like a two-part move. I don't think she can sway back and then choose to attack or not afterwards. I think the whole thing is just one move. So she might not be able to like sway and then just stop. She might have to commit to the entire thing. So it doesn't seem quite as scary as DJ's sway, but when I first saw that, a shiver went down my spine, you know? We see like a basic combo here into Rhino Horn. It looks like she has a lot of target combos. I mentioned earlier that like Elena has a lot of overhead normals. Another like classic Elena thing is that she has tons of target combos. She also has lots of target combo jumps as well. We saw one earlier, and there's another one coming up. So we see a light confirm here. It looks kind of jank. I assume this is, like, I'm guessing this is crouch light kick. Stand light kick, possibly? Stand light punch? It's hard to tell because Elena's one of those characters where all of her, like, attacking moves are kicks. So it's hard to delineate which ones are the kick buttons and which are the punch buttons. But I'm assuming that's crouch light, kickstand light, punch. She's like the reverse Ed, yeah. Into spin scythe. And the follow-up. So spin scythe is very different to how it worked in previous games in this version, but I will explain that more in a minute because here's where things get kind of interesting. So, Elena in this game has, as well as her new role, she has a special mechanic where if you roll a second time, you can cancel the roll into roll, and this second roll will upgrade whatever move she performs out of it. You can see that she gets this like big aura around her after rolling twice. Like the next move that you do gets enhanced after the double roll. And this is Mallet Smash. This move right here is an overhead. And this was, it might not be such an issue in this game, we haven't seen, but like this was one of the most obnoxious moves in the entire game in Street Fighter 4. We didn't see the EX version. This is just the regular Mallet Smash. If you guys don't know, in Street Fighter 4, the EX Mallet Smash was a 15 frame overhead that went like half screen. You could combo into it and you could combo out of it. EX Mallet Smash was fucking demonic in Street Fighter 4, so hopefully it's not quite that evil in this game. And also the other thing is, you cannot perform Mallet Smash raw as far as I can tell. From the information that we've got here, they mentioned the only times that you can perform Mallet Smash is as a follow-up to Link's song, which is the roll, or as a follow-up to Spin Scythe. So I don't think you're going to be able to get jump scared by like crouch medium kick or a normal into Mallet Smash now. I think they've changed how it's used. Then we get the classic shimmy into another target combo. I assume that's medium kick, crouch, heavy kick, EX Spin Scythe into... So this is what I wanted to talk about. This is a cool combo. So we get the level 1 at the end, and you also get a juggle after her level 1, which is pretty unique. So you get level 1 into the DP, which is cute. But this is what I wanted to talk about. So they've heavily changed Spin Scythe in this game. Spin Scythe in Third Strike and Street Fighter 4 was basically just combo filler, right? She spins twice, and then you can do like a follow-up that knocks the opponent away. In this game, Spin Scythe is like the party starter, because after the 2 spins, she can cancel it into any of her Link song moves. So you can cancel the second hit of Spin Scythe into any of these moves, including Mallet Smash. And that's what we see here. So she does 2 hits of EX Spin Scythe, cancels it into the roll, and then cancels the roll into the Harvest Circle. This actually kind of reminds me in a weird way of... have any of you guys played Angel or Angel in King of Fighters? Where like she has like kind of wreckers that kind of loop back into themselves. It's not as complicated as that. Like the Unchained, whatever it was called, system is like one of the most complicated things in the history of fighting games. Like I needed a degree in Mexican KOF studies to understand how her combos work. It's not quite that severe, but she kind of has that thing going on where she has lots of ways of like looping back into things that cancel into each other. Kind of interesting. Would you like a prime energy? Alright, here we go. I've got to say, like, Capcom absolutely crushed it with this classic costume. She looks so good in this. 100% when she comes out, I'm going to be using this costume. It just looks amazing. This is like the perfect representation of like how you should switch a character from like 2D artwork to a 3D model. Like this is like, I can't stress enough how good she looks. So yeah, we get the roll into a perfect parry on the fireball. And then drive rush. And this is kind of interesting. Not because she's caked up, which she is, but this is kind of an interesting approach. So what we see here is crouch medium kick out of drive rush into what looks like a medium. I'm assuming this is stand medium kick, possibly. It's hard to tell again. But this is interesting because this seems to suggest to me that in this game, she might not have a special cancelable crouch medium kick. Because generally speaking, if you're a character with like low forward drive rush in this game, if you do drive rush into crouch medium kick, usually you're not plus enough to link into a medium. Off the top of my head, I can't think of anyone, but it's certainly, it would seem to suggest that she doesn't have a special cancelable crouch medium kick, which I'm glad about, to be honest, because I feel like Special cancelable crouch medium kicks tend to make characters really one-dimensional, so I'm actually really happy that she doesn't have one, even though she has historically had one in previous games. We get that neutral jump heavy kick into another spin scythe, and this is where things kind of get interesting, because she does the roll cancel and then blocks an EXDP. So I think this might be an idea of like how her mind games are going to work in this game. So I think this is the general idea, that she's going to be probably more of a reset based character, because it looks like if you do like spin spin roll, you might leave yourself like in a tick throw situation. So it might be kind of the idea, I would guess, is maybe she's a character with short combos, but you get lots of nasty resets in the middle of them. Like you can do spin scythe into overhead, or spin scythe into roll, into throw, or bait a DP. But she baits the DP. Big punish counter stand fist. We get to see a bit of a drive rush extension. Yet another target combo. Man, she animates so well in this game. It's crazy. They really did a good job with her visuals. There we see the EXDP is actually an EXDP, just in case you were worried that she doesn't have a true reversal. So I guess this is their way of demonstrating that she has side switch combos, which is always a good thing in this game. Being able to side switch in Street Fighter 6 off like basic combos, very important. So she can do like a launch into EX Rhino Horn. The final hit whiffs, as you can see, but you recover early enough that you can do a DP afterwards, which is good. Oh yeah, the devious target combo. I mentioned earlier she has airborne target combos. This is a double cross-up. She had this in previous games as well. So this is, I think, jump light kick into jump medium kick. Oh yeah, this is something I forgot to mention earlier. So you may be wondering how you're supposed to take advantage of her enhanced special moves, because I mentioned earlier that her roll only enhances your special if she rolls twice. If you just do a single roll, she doesn't get the enhanced follow-ups, but this is the reason that the EX version exists. So the EX version of her roll, you don't have to do twice. So EX roll instantly gives you the upgraded follow-ups. That's Mallet Smash. Into Rhino Horn. Into level 2. Yeah. Now this is this is the first version of her level 2. There is a second version of her level 2, which I'm going to go on a big rant about once we get to the end of this video. We get EX roll into Mallet Smash, which goes over the fireball. And then you can link after this into a drive rush cancel. This is basically just combo demonstrations at this point. And then level 3, which I will play at full speed just to admire its full majesty. It looks good. I like her level 3. You know what I was thinking about with her level 3? I couldn't shake the feeling that it reminded me of something, and I realized just before the stream what it was. Have you guys ever watched footage of the really broken Hokuto no Ken fighting game? Where like you bounce your opponent and they ground bounce higher and higher and higher? Those infinites that are like game breaking? This reminds me of that so much. In a good way. I like it. And again, the visual presentation is a big deal. And then obviously we have to have this nonsense at the end. Oh look, it's the, you know, post-credits teaser. She says, it's literally say the line, Bart. Say the line. Healing. Yeah, well done. They make clear that healing is like a special alternate follow-up to her level 2. So I think they mentioned that if you hold down during her level 2, if you hold down the button during her level 2, you forfeit a bit of damage and she gets a bit of health back. We don't know how much health, there's no actual numbers, but you basically just choose to end her level 2 a little bit short to get some health back. Kind of like Jamie's level 1, letting you forfeit a bit of damage to get a drink. Can I just use this as a chance to go into a rant that I've been saving up for like 4 months real quick about healing? Healing is not that good. Like, I'm so sick of every single discussion about Elena being completely dominated by healing. Anytime, for the last 3 months, every single time I see people speculating about Elena in Street Fighter 6. This is what I had to put up with. Oh, dude, imagine if, like, her level 1 is, like, healing, and her level 2 is, like, healing, and, like, she heals when she does level 3. Imagine, like, she can trade drive gauge for healing, and all her normals are healing. Imagine if, like, her special moves are all healing, and when she moves, she does healing. Bros, do you guys remember healing from Street Fighter 4? I'm so sick of it, man. I am so tired of people talking about healing. Here's the thing. Healing is only broken in one game. It has only ever been a problem in one game. Healing was broken in Street Fighter 4, and that is for the simple reason that it was tied to your ultra in that game. And if you guys don't know, the way that you get ultras in Street Fighter 4 is by taking damage. So by taking damage in Street Fighter 4, you get rewarded with a mechanic that restores your health, which you can obviously tell is probably not going to be a good idea. You should not be getting health back as a reward for taking damage, right? I mean, there's more to it than that. You could also do like focus backdash on fireballs to absorb Grey Life and stuff, but healing in Third Strike is not that good, okay? It's not bad, it's okay. I think MOV used it a couple times at EVO. It's nowhere near the best super in that game. So like, healing is not an inherently broken super in like any version of Street Fighter 3. It's only broken specifically in Street Fighter 4 because of the revenge gauge. And once again, in Street Fighter 6, it's a level 2. So unless this thing heals like a shocking amount of health in this game, I don't know why people are so obsessed with healing. Can we all just agree to move on and stop talking about healing for a while? It drives me nuts that like every discussion of Elena now just boils down to like lol healing bottom text. I'm so tired of it. She's actually, I think she's a pretty cool character. She has so much going on that isn't healing, but that's all anyone wants to talk about. There you go. That's my, I've been saving that up for a while. So anyway, quick summary. Once I'm finished ranting, I think Elena looks really, like, in terms of visual presentation, absolutely amazing. I love her classic costume in this game. She looks amazing when she's moving around the screen. She animates really nicely. I'm still a little bit disappointed that we have to wait until the Switch 2 comes out for all of this stuff. You know, what am I going to do for the next, like, 6 weeks? I guess Oblivion is going to have to carry me. But yeah, I'm sure we're probably going to get like another Elena gameplay video in the next couple of weeks. They usually also follow this up with like a one of those like more detailed gameplay breakdowns. So I'm looking forward to that. But let me know what you guys think. I think she looks cool in this game, and I'm looking forward to trying her. And I will see you guys all in the next video.